Okay, let's go ahead and move on to how to write a good title. All right, your essays have to have titles. If you do not have a title on your essay, I will not accept it for grading. Uh, I like to use this analogy. All creatures have names. Your essay is a creature. You created it. You need to name it. If you have a child, think about your child's name for a moment and then ask yourself, because I would ask you this in class, why didn't you name, if it's a boy, why didn't you name the child boy? Or if it's a girl, why didn't you name the child girl? And the answer you'll give is, well, that doesn't distinguish my boy from somebody else's boy. And I will tell you that's exactly right. And that's why you need to have a a title, because you need to distinguish your essay from all the other essays. So, titles are essential. Now, never use simple labels or essay types as titles. For example, for your first essay, I better not catch anybody writing exemplification essay for a title. That is not a title, that is the name of the assignment. If you give me that, I will return it to you. Football, that is dull, and it doesn't tell me anything about what's in the essay. And euthanasia, same thing. These are just simple labels or essay types. Come up with a title. Okay, here's another important point. Your own title should not be underlined, italicized, or put in quotation marks. I might also add it should be the same font and the same point size, and not bold, and not in all caps. It should be written at the top of page 1 of your essay, or on an appropriate title page, which I don't allow in class, so it'll be page 1 of your essay, and contain no special marks of punctuation. Again, please note the MLA style handout and make use of that. As you can see on that handout, the title there is located where it's supposed to be. No additional spacing aside from regular double space at the top or the bottom of the title. So as you can see, the scoop on the best ice cream has no additional punctuations. Now, there is one exception to the punctuation, and that comes if the title happens to be a question. If the title is a question, then you would use a question mark at the end, but that is the only time when you would use punctuation at the end of a title. Capitalization is always very important in a title, so you need to remember this. You capitalize the first and the last word in your title and all the important words. Generally, you do not capitalize such words as and, and, a, or the, or prepositions like to, in, on, etc., unless they appear as the first or last words of the title or follow a colon within the title. So we'll talk about colons on the last slide. So, for example, the way to get to know a new place. A is normally lowercase, as you can see before new, but because it's the first word in the title, A is capitalized. Notice, though, again, when it appears in the course of the title, it is not capitalized. Same thing with to. To is not capitalized in either occurrence. All the rest of the words, way, get, know, new, and place, are capitalized. This is important, and it is essential that you follow this convention. This may be something you want to consider, not necessarily for this class, but in the future, especially if you're writing more technical papers in various disciplines like history, psychology, whatever the case may be. Sometimes writers craft a title that presents a word or phrase followed by a colon introducing a definition, a revealing image, a question, or some other kind of explanatory material to interest the reader. So the writer here, in this example title, says memories carved in stone. That's very creative, but it doesn't say a lot. It doesn't really tell us exactly what, as nice as it sounds, it doesn't tell us what exactly is going to be in the essay. So this is a very common thing. When you get to 1002, you'll see it in a number of articles and even books that you might be using for your research paper. The author here adds a colon and then adds a clarifying statement afterwards. Tennessee Pioneer Memorials. That is what the paper is about, Tennessee Pioneer Memorials. But notice that's rather dull, pedestrian. So if you combine the two, Memories Carved in Stone, Tennessee Pioneer Memorials, you get something that is both creative and informative. Okay, so in summary, here you should remember, of course, the details are the more important thing, but many essays will profit from a lead-in, the first sentences of the introductory paragraph that attract the reader's attention and smoothly set up the thesis statement. Essays should end convincingly, without being repetitious or trite, with thoughts that emphasize the writer's main purpose. And titles should invite the reader's interest by indicating the general nature of the essay's content and its tone. So, I hope you have learned something from this presentation. Please feel free to go back to it if you need to. Please feel free to consult Chapter 4 when you are developing the introductions and conclusions in your own essays. If you find yourself repeating yourself, writing in vague manners, then what you want to do is to scratch that and select a strategy from the ones presented here and make use of that. I promise you, it will make your life a lot easier.